YouTube? Today we're going to be underneath this Grand Prix doing a sway bar upgrade, and this will work for all Wbodies, Grand Prix, Regal, Monte Carlo. So let me show you what I'm working on. So what you'll need is a 15 millimeter, and let me get to the right spot. Right there where my finger's at. You use a 15 millimeter to loosen this bushing bracket, loosen this, and then go to the other side and do the same thing. And then while you're underneath here, you gotta take the 15 millimeter bolt off of the end of the sway bar, which is right there on the end link. So you got to disconnect that on both sides. So I'm going to get this loose and then I'll show you how to drag it out of the car. So here's a comparison of the stock one, which is black, and then the aftermarket one from ZZP, whole lot thicker. Now these are the bushings that came with the new one. All you do is put this with the factory brackets and everything works. So let me get this new sway bar slid in and I'll show you once it's bolted up. Okay guys, so I got it in. I got the bushings, the new bushings installed on the sway bar, and now I'm finishing the tightening up the end link, which, like the instructions say on ZZP, if you want a soft ride like the factory, you put the end link here, or if you want more of a street or stiffer ride, you go to the back one. Since this one's kind of going to be a cruiser that I want a little bit stiffer ride, then I'm going to go to the back one and mount mine there. So let me mount that and then we'll finish up. Okay, well, I'm going to show you the final assembly. End link on, sway bar installed, nice and good. Like if you watch one of the other videos that dealt with the GXP brakes, that's also when I did the rear struts, GXP brakes. So let's go over why I upgraded the rear sway bar. One, this Grand Prix was my daily for a while till it broke down. It didn't handle that great, especially at higher speeds. So with the bigger, thicker rear sway bar, it's going to keep your car flat around corners, and it's going to handle better at higher speeds. Now, I'm not racing this thing or anything special like that, but I do want a good handling daily that has a little bit more improvements over factory. Now, a few tips that I'll give you: if you do have bigger than 2.5 inch exhaust, like you have big exhaust because you're supercharged or turboed, you may have to drop the exhaust down a little bit to get the sway bar in, because it is a little bit bigger than factory. If you have the factory like what I did, I just wiggled the mounts and scratched up the sway bar a little bit, but since it's a daily, it's not a show car, I don't really care. But that's one of those things to think about, because the bigger pipe might interfere with not going all the way through from one side to the other. So that might give you some insight to drop where the mufflers mount, or where between the mid pipe to the mufflers, you may have to loosen that up a little bit. Now you do need a 15 millimeter for the end link, the bushing, or the two bushings and the two end links. That's something you need. So a 15 millimeter socket. I use the ratcheting 15 millimeter wrench because it's the easiest. I use the wrench on the end link, and then I used a socket on a deep socket on the bushing, so the sway bar bushing, to get the sway bar out. Everything was a pretty easy install, and pretty soon, once I get a couple more things done on this car to get it running, we'll get you some live data on a road so you can see the improvement over factory. And so I hope you like the content and the information I'm giving you guys to help you guys out for your project that you can work on to improve it, to drive it, to whatever your goal is to get it done. So I hope this helped. Like and subscribe to the video, and we'll see you on the next one.